Joining us now live to discuss is Dr. Dan דייקר. He's president of the Jerusalem Center for Security and Foreign Affairs. Dr. דייקר, thank you so much for joining us here in studio.
Very good morning to you in New York.
Yeah, thank you. Just want to jump right in and get your initial understandings of this tension now between Israel and Turkey playing out.
Much of what the West doesn't know is that Turkey is breaking away to become the new neo-Ottoman Islamic empire in the Middle East. And they see the main obstacle to that goal is the state of Israel. They have been a frenemy, and now they're really an adversary of Israel, and they are mobilizing enormous pressure on the American administration, President Trump, in order to restrain Israel from defeating Hamas, which is a direct threat to the United States' interest in the Middle East, America first. And they are a strategic threat to Israel. And now what they've done, as you've reported here this morning, is to engage in a type of Soviet, Chinese regime, Iranian regime political warfare to try to isolate Israel by accusing it of genocide and filing papers with international courts. This is intolerable. The United States has got to recognize and act. The Turkish regime is not a friend of the United States, notwithstanding President Trump's embrace for political reasons of Erdogan. And I think, as they say in Latin, caveat emptor, may the buyer beware when it comes to Erdogan's neo-Ottoman vision, aspirations to control the Middle East and replace the Iranian regime as the major power in the region.
Then who should rule Gaza, or what peace force? Indonesia looks like they want to step up. They're the largest Muslim country. Should the UN have a role with some of the things that have happened questionably with UNRWA? Who should be in this peace force if Turkey should not be?
Excellent question. The truth is that there is no Arab country, not the Saudis, and no other, not the Indonesians, that are prepared to confront Hamas militarily. And if you look at the little writing under the news reports today, as we're speaking today, that the Indonesians are prepared to offer 20,000 men. Those are for peacekeeping operations, for infrastructure building, for stabilization. No one's talking about confronting Hamas with arms and to disarm them by force, to demilitarize by force. There's only one force that can do that. The Israel Defense Forces. They've done it. They can do it. They must do it. It's on their border. How we should rebuild Gaza. The Middle East is structured by family, clans, and tribes. In Gaza, there are hundreds of families who want to defend themselves against the Hamas. Unfortunately, in major American media, we don't see the huge outcry of Gazans that are saying, Hamas, you've ruined our lives. They're afraid for their lives to say that on television. It's not a democracy, it's a theocracy. But the truth is, the way Gaza should emerge is through local councils, local districts, having families, clans, and tribes defend themselves against this bloody extremist regime called Hamas. That's the outcome. The Western notion of a Westphalian nation state, like the United States and like Europe,
Jefferson democracy, maybe not happening.
Jefferson and Jacksonian democracy do not work in the Middle East. It is a different culture. I think the president recognized that when he went and spoke in Saudi, and good for him. That's the way Gaza and the West Bank, the Palestinian areas of the West Bank, Judea and Samaria, as it's known in Israel, those areas under Palestinian rule, the Palestinian Authority has to be kicked out, and that's what most of the local population is saying. And the local families in all of the major areas under Palestinian Authority control should be turned over to local councils based on those families and clans that are the notables in those areas. That's just like the Arab Emirates. The United Arab Emirates creates a similar model that can be copied and pasted into other areas across the Middle East.